me talking about the $11.22 for my baby daddy and child support. So I see a lot of people have something negative to say about the situation. First off, let me explain something to you. I was 15 years old when I had my daughter, 15 years old, and this man was quite older than I was. I accepted the fact that I was a single parent year after year, me justified and making excuses why this man wasn't involved in my daughter's life. At 2 years old, establishing paternity because I was some kind of hoe and didn't know who my baby daddy was. In reality, he didn't want to admit to fucking a 15-year-old kid. So after getting paternity, I was receiving food stamps, I was receiving housing, and I was receiving TANF from the state because I was 17 years old when she was 2 years old, living on housing and getting assistance. So yes, they put him on child support for $234 a month. The whole time she's been on child support, I have not received not one full payment. So all you in the comments talking about, oh yeah, you chose him as a baby daddy, or why did you choose him? This is what you get. I was the one chosen. I was a kid. So for y'all to be under the comments talking about, oh, she got her makeup done, she got her hair done, she can't afford to get her daughter some track shoes. I never said I couldn't afford it. My daughter took in consideration. My mom just paid bills. My mom just did this. So let me ask somebody else about track shoes. I never told her to call that man. I don't even talk to that man. Don't even acknowledge him. But for y'all to sit up here and say, oh, well, you should accept the $11.22 since you put him on child support. It wasn't the fact of the $11.22. It was the fact that he was trying to be funny with my motherfucking daughter, and she's a kid, bro.
Now that is messy. That brother needs to go to jail. Let's go ahead and start off by saying that the brother needs to go to jail, because why is a guy trying to deal with a 15-year-old girl, right? Why is a guy trying to deal with a 15-year-old girl? Now, from pretty much this video and moving on to the other videos we're going to see of this sister, I guess the guy never went to jail, right? I guess the guy never went to jail. You got this sister here who pretty much has to go through that. But at the end of the day, I think we just need to be honest here. I think we need to be serious here. This sister was fast at the age of 15. Now, once again, I know some sisters are going to be upset about it. I know some sisters are going to say that, are you really trying to victim shame? Are you really trying to hold this chick accountable? Well, to some degree, yes. Right? To some degree, yes. Now, I just said we're going to start off with saying the guy needs to go to jail. He got to, right? No man here in America, besides a predator, will encourage a guy to do something like that. That's just a fact. We already know your youngins are off limits. We already know that. Universally, we know that's off limits. But yet you're going to still have some guys who are out there. And what do? Right? We do our best to try to tell these women to protect yourselves. And we try to take some preventative measures to keep women safe, right? But it becomes an issue when you have someone who is in high school who can make decisions for themselves, right? We all want to be grown when we're in high school. We all can make decisions when we're in high school. We all know what's right and what's wrong in high school. But yet, somehow, some way, this sis was upset because you had a bunch of people saying, yo, man, listen, sis, like, you're getting upset over a child support, this, that, and the third. She said he has never paid. He has never freaking paid it. But her whole premise is that, hey, man, listen, y'all trying to hold me accountable for all of this stuff. And to some degree, I get it. But y'all got to understand, I was 15. And what she's trying to essentially say is I was taken advantage of. And I did not know any better. Now, this chick Randy, this sister Randy, got these other sisters messed up.
When the nerd came up to the girl in high school, she was like, no, I don't want you. And then once she became a baby mama, he was a CEO executive and all that. And she's like, hey, you remember me? He said, no, I don't want you. I be feeling like, respectfully, y'all is the grown-up versions of the niggas that got hurt in high school while we was out fucking with the drug dealers. Let me tell you something. We were victims then, making horrible ass decisions with grown ass niggas preying on us. Y'all gotta let that shit go. You didn't get no pussy in high school. You getting pussy now. Get over it.
Now Randy got these sisters not even trying to take accountability, even at the age of 15, 16, 17 years of age. Once again, you know right from wrong. Right, you know right from wrong, and you can't tell me, right? Because number one, your girls always talk about they have your intuition. Their intuition is that, and they smart and yada yada yada. They swear that they smarter than your boys, even at a younger age. But yet, They sitting here dealing with a Pookie and Ray Ray. They dealing with a guy they know for a fact they should not be dealing with. They dealing with an older guy. And y'all trying to play victim? That's crazy. Right? That is crazy. Now I'm sitting over here watching some criminal page on YouTube, right, where a predator tried to come up to some 10-year-olds and he was trying to get them to come on a boat. You mean to tell me, right? The 10-year-olds automatically knew something was wrong. They automatically knew something was wrong. They knew that this guy was here to try to do some harm to him.
However, this would only be amplified when police have a chance to speak with the victim, who turns out to actually be a 10-year-old boy. The two brothers were swimming near the docks at Independence Point in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, when John creepily began to talk to the children. But the brave 10-year-old immediately knew what to do and quickly asked for help from Benjamin and his employees.
They knew that they should not be in this situation. They knew immediately that there's something wrong with this situation. So they ran and they said, hey man, listen, you got this guy over here trying to do something. But you mean to tell me we can have a 15-year-old girl who knows, who got 5 years on these boys, who knows right from wrong, right? Mind you, you're in high school. You're a sophomore, junior in high school, about to be a senior, a couple of years away from being in college. You mean to tell me a 15-year-old was manipulated? A 15-year-old didn't know right from wrong? So she still dealt with this guy and didn't really care about the consequences until after the fact? It's disingenuous behavior, and it's women trying to remove themselves from accountability, period. Once again, the guy's wrong. He's still wrong. He is still 1,000% wrong. But that's the sad thing about this society today. We're just always going to absolve the woman from the situation. When we can sit here and ask them, well, how could we have avoided this situation? We're always going to ask, what could we have done to get out of this situation? Anytime there's a bad situation, anytime there has been a disaster, we always move as a society to make sure that doesn't happen again. So we up the security. We then make new inventions. When all these planes were crashing, what did they do? They decided to rebuild planes and make them stronger, make them more reliable. Anytime something has failed in our society, we have always did things to make it better. But it's only when women find themselves in a disaster or in a situation that we can't even come up with a solution. The only solution is we have to fix the other people. When it's like, okay, well, let's get to the root of it. Sis, you were fast. Period. You were fast. You knew what was right from wrong. You knew that you shouldn't have been dealing with dudes. But hey, guess what? You still dealt with them. And to sit here and have these women say, hey, well, you know what? I didn't know. I was manipulated. But these are the same girls who will sit here and keep it from their parents. They will keep everything from the parents. That's not manipulation to me. That's you knowing that, hey, this is wrong. That's the reason why a lot of your girls don't ever say anything. That's the reason why a lot of your girls don't ever say anything, because they hide it from the parents. The parents sit over here saying, well, damn, I didn't know anything about this, because the child was hiding away from you, because the child knew it was wrong. But somehow, some way, we get these women to come up on the internet and say this type of crap. But of course, let's read the comments, because the comments, you got a lot of your sisters behind this sister, defending this sister. Okay, let's read the comments, right? One of the sisters says, predators support predators. You can see it in the comments. Somebody says, take him off of child support and let him pay you monthly. Then somebody else says, reminder that 70% of children born to teen mothers were fathered by fully grown men over the age of 20. Girls are preyed upon and left with the aftermath, then judged for it. It's absolutely disgusting. Then somebody else goes on to say, at 15, I knew wrong from right, and I definitely knew effing a grown man was not right. She probably thought it was cute being with an older man. This is what happens when you have many guys sit up here and ask these young girls in high school, yo, why you dealing with that dude? Oh, well, they're more mature than you guys. Once again, these girls wanting to be fast, and then when they go ahead and become a baby mother and all of this extra stuff, then they want to come back and then they want to start sounding like Randy Rosario, telling you, hey man, listen, y'all guys need to get over it. We didn't want y'all. But now, hey, now that we busted and we done ran the mileage up out the roof, we want y'all to sit here and take us under your wing. Then somebody else says he needs to be in jail. Then somebody else says, fathers, please be present in your daughters' lives. Then somebody else says, tell your story. I care. I will listen. But the best comment was, I wonder how she was really running around and carrying herself before she got pregnant. So of course, let's go ahead and read the responses to that. People said, let me ask you this, genuinely, doesn't matter. Not sure of your age, but let's say you're the older man and you have a 15, 16 or 17-year-old being fast with you or around you. Would you go ahead and still take advantage of the easy access? No man would do that. No man with common sense would do that. But you're missing the point, ma'am. The point is you understood. This is where women are just trying to absolve other women from accountability and trying to pretty much bully men into accepting one way of thinking. Hey, well, that guy right there, he was messing around with a 15-year-old. Yes, we're gonna hold him to the highest extent, but we gotta get on her as well, because she understood, she knew what was right from wrong as well. But hey, guess what? It's a woman, we gotta let it go. Then somebody else says, you made me throw up in my mouth a little bit. Please find a moral compass. So then somebody else says, would you ask a 3-year-old, was she running around and she got, you know, the MOL word, right? Now, once again, you're talking about a 3-year-old who does not know anything. Now, I just showed y'all a video where a 10-year-old was able to tell people, hey, listen, yo, that man right there is a predator. But you mean to tell me a 15-year-old can't do it? But yet somehow, some way, these are the smartest beings on the planet. Somehow, some way, man, they're the most educated. But you mean to tell me, as a 15-year-old girl, you don't know right from wrong. You did not know it was wrong dealing with that guy, but yet you got a little 10-year-old boy that knew off rip this is wrong? That's crazy. Then somebody put red flag, predator. All because he just simply kept it a G. And he got all of that. He is literally considered a predator just because he just simply asked a question. I want to know what she was like before that. Why do you ask that? Because 9 times out of 10, the fact that you are pregnant at the age of 15, I get it. We all have fun. We all have sex or whatever. But being pregnant at the age of 15 and then fast forward, you're on TikTok doing this type of video. That means, let's just be honest, that means either your father probably wasn't in the house, or you was raised by your mother, and or 9 times out of 10 you were living a fast lifestyle, which means you weren't living with no structure, you weren't living with boundaries. But it's just a fact that what you did then makes up who you are today, right or wrong. Okay, everybody says right. What you did back then makes you the type of person that you are today. Okay, then now that's a valid question that he asked, because let's look at how she is today.
One thing I hate is the that act like she ain't never had BV before. Stop playing. Any that got kids 9 times out of 10, you got it. So stop playing. But stop playing with that cat dough and make sure that stay clean. Because that is curable. Because I got mine cured. And ever since I've been using this, stop playing. I'm about to go see a man about a horse right now. And what the did Megan say? 1 leg on the headboard, 1 leg on the what? On the motherfucking mattress. Not a motherfucking smell. Stop playing with it. Look up the reviews. Stop playing. We're going to talk about that other story another time.
Me personally. I mean, and once again, there's certain videos that I can't even put on here because, once again, she's out here. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, man. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. But I can't post a lot of videos on here because she out here booty clapping it up.
I mean, you know what you're going to get. Weave, sandals, red wigs, blue wigs, more sandals, more weaves, more booty clapping. All right, that's kind of pretty much what she does. She's experienced lash tech, lash seminars. You get it, all right? This is very liquor store content stuff.
She's out here shaking tail on the internet. So once again, it just seems like you still have that same mindset that you had when you were 15 years of age, but yet you claim that you were taken advantage of. Now, then on top of that, from my understanding, from what I've seen on this page, she has 5 children. Now, we know for a fact that she has a boyfriend and that she has 2 baby fathers. Now, this boyfriend could be the second baby father, but I highly doubt it. Now, I'm not trying to go into assumptions, but let's just be real here. You got a child when you were 15 years of age, and you say you put them on child support, or yada, yada, yada. So that's 1 child. Then you have 4 more other children. So I could just only assume that the other children are going to have a father, right? At least, you're going to have another baby father. And then you get a guy. Once again, y'all let me know down below. Guys, y'all let me know down below. do y'all have more sympathy for the sister now that she made this video? Because to some degree I did, with her yelling at the screen. I was like, okay, let me go ahead and do my little research. Let me go ahead and find out how she is. And lo and behold, you go across her TikTok page. I mean, number one, the cussing kind of already gave it away, the type of person that she is. But then when you go to the TikTok page, it just opens up a Pandora box, and it just shows the type of person that you are. But only women are capable and able to sit here and say that, well, my Instagram, my social media life doesn't sum up who I am. Ma'am, you got 5 kids, knowing for a fact that you got multiple baby daddies, you got 2 baby fathers, that's for sure, right? That's for sure. And you out here shaking tail on the internet. That's somebody, right? Mind you, you're shaking tail on the internet. You do know that's how you got the first child, right? Because look at the type of person that you are today. The type of person that you are today was created by the type of person you were then. So once again, to that guy's question, I want to know what she was like before she got pregnant. Well, brother, this right here answers your question. So y'all guys don't have to listen to those sisters, man, those better sisters who just want to constantly keep avoiding accountability. Because of course you had a sister jump on my page and she's like, oh, well, you sometimes you don't come up in here with the facts and this, that, and the third, yeah. Well, here you go. I went in depth for you guys to really show y'all the type of person she is. And I'm not saying she's a bad person, but somehow, some way she found an imp. And when you look at her Instagram page, the stereotype shows itself, right? Now once again, you got a lot of people who get upset when people stereotype, but I mean, once again, you can't jump on TikTok and try to absolve yourself from accountability, but then you live the life that you live. That's wild. Do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. I just happened to come across this video and I just said this is wild. But like I said, man, do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Y'all men, let me know down below, how do y'all feel about the video? I already know how some of your women are going to feel, even after seeing the type of person that she is. But the guys, I want to know, did y'all get some sympathy? Do y'all have some sympathy for the sister?